In Hungary, and Tucker Carlson had this on last night. They've banned the transgenderism on children. No longer can they give hormones to them. I mean, it's so unethical, that alone. But they no longer can mutilate them either. They had a referendum, and so it put it like it was the end of it. Because they put a stop to the harm of children. They're not focused on this. They're not. So I sort of think that um, that's what if you want your country to, everybody gets upset and says, how long is this going to go on? Well, I think it goes on as long as we, just remain self-focused, selfish. We do. And the way that it was designed, this thing was designed, all that whole network that pushes that nonstop 24 hours a day. Think about how many channels push that. It's all they do. It's all they do. They're on YouTube, they're on Rumble, they're on Telegram, they're everywhere. They're a network. All they do is push that there's this, there's that, there's this that's going to happen. They move it to where, oh no, it's going to happen next fall, it's going to happen next spring. It is a constantly moving narrative to keep people there. And then what does that do? It keeps people self-focused. And so then you continue to watch your country burn because the people themselves, I'm sorry, this is my opinion, go off on me if you want, but then the people continue to watch their country burn and complain about it, but not realizing that as long as you continue to believe the bullshit, instead of placing the most innocent first, then don't expect God to come in and help. Don't. And that's what that other side, that's what that network banks on, is to keep you selfish, to keep you self-focused, it's all about me, what I want. It doesn't matter about anybody else. No country can survive living in freedom and be that way. You just can't. You can't. And there's tons and tons of people that it will never change, that are full-blown narcissists, and a ton of them that are in that camp, and all they talk about is this. Yet you look at other countries and it's like they've moved past that narrative. Like they realize, no, the biggest narrative here is that we have not put children's rights first. We have not protected children. We have not protected children when it comes to the self-mutilation that surgeons are doing. We have not put the protection of children first when it comes to giving them hormones at an age they shouldn't, when their frontal lobe isn't even formed yet. We haven't put the children first, even when it comes to child trafficking, because as soon as a bunch of people in the Kennedy, Stu Peters, you name it, all of that camp came out and just started talking nonstop about a shot, my God, everything else, it didn't matter. Because this shot's going to do this shot's going to do that. It's building this in your body. It's creating myocarditis. It's doing this, and then it's doing everything under the sun. It's turning you into a transhumanist. Oh my God, the amount of, it went off the rails so long ago, and yet there's still people that, nope, my family member. And it's like, you're not getting it, just not getting it. Like, Hungary has it right. Hungary's got it right. Like, they realize, no, if you believe in God, then what God wants you to put first isn't yourself. It's you put those kids first. You put those kids first. But see, that wicked side, that network, they know that if they can get the people to just focus on themselves and only worry about themselves, then they can keep control of this country. So they managed to do that. They did. And people are determined that their family member got sick because of a shot, that their family member died because of a shot, and then never really putting the pieces together that, if Pfizer's coming out telling you this is true, then you don't see how really the main goal of that is they're willing to take a hit. they'll take a hit. They'll take a hit on some of their drugs just so they can take Trump down, because Trump was eradicating that. I mean, it seems like it's a simple thing to put together, but instead there's everybody, and I myself included, but I got to a point where it was off the rails. I don't trust the science at this point because of all of their flip-flopping, of course, but that's for sure I don't, because I see that we have more diseases and more problems and more illness than we have ever had cures and solutions. So that's the reason I don't trust them. But it's sad, really, that so many people just don't get it, and they think that because they follow Kennedy or Stu Peters or the many, I know there's a ton others, I keep mentioning those, but there's so many others that, you know, the Sherry Tenpennies, that's all they focus on. It's just like, you know, it's all it is for them. And it's like, people don't put together that, yeah, your country is never going to be saved. Your country cannot have freedom if you fall for the traps where you're going to put yourself first. All the while child trafficking is going on. All the while child labor, exploitation, sex exploitation is going on. God doesn't even hear your prayers. No. No. Because this should have never, ever taken over the place of the trafficking of children.